now.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
All right. Welcome, everyone. It has been some time since we have last come together, and we're going to do kind of a round robin recap to kind of go over what happened in the previous episode and where we are now, and most importantly, where are we headed. So, in no particular order, I'm going to start with Aragnis.
No.
And don't feel like, I'm going to throw this out there for everyone. Don't feel like you have to recap the whole thing. Go as far as you're comfortable with.
Start,
and then we'll just let someone else pick up.
Our party was split. It was Regic and Kraz. They were I don't even know where their location was, but we were holed up in an inn somewhere when they were going to go and meet somebody to do with the shopkeeper there. That they thought they had a connection to get us out on an airship, perhaps. That was going to be the deal. And what happened was where they were got compromised, and the other servitor group came in and started questioning them, and they used some of their tactics, and I'll have them go from there.
All right, so let's pass this off to Regic.
So where me and Kraz left off, we were being interrogated, and then we managed to escape when all hell broke loose in the city, and we left with the two captains, and we found our friends, and we ended up hijacking like a barge of some sort, like I don't know what you want to call it, and it flew us up to our ship, and we took the ship. We stole the ship, pretending to be the other servitor group, and we're at the point now where we are about to throw the crew off the ship.
Wow. Okay, so that's kind of a big recap.
Quick version.
Up to where we are. The highlights. Let's say Derogate, because you were part of the split group.
Sure.
What are some of the things you can add?
While they were in a compromised situation over in the inn, we were hiding out in our it was a room in a building. I forget what the building was, but we were hiding out in it, and some individuals started coming up the street towards us, and so we decided to escape from the room before they came in there and captured us. I think that's when like all hell broke out in the city, and so I remember I immediately sort of like teleported across the way, and I ran through town, and ended up back at the docks where we were meeting everybody. And along that time, I think the other guys made their own escape, sort of, that I wasn't party to, and they took a separate route and also met us back at the docks. Then we, got onto the airship. Like I said, kind of took off from there. I think that sums up about what I saw that hasn't been recapped so far.
So I guess one of the gaps to us recapping is in Kraz's and Regic's meetup, they came across the two captains of, was it the Siren Song or something like that? The
Cloud Song.
The Cloud Song, the original captains of that ship that we were on. And they saw them, and they kind of like, they hid away, and then they came back at, after their interrogation with the other servitor group, and they were able to get off. But that's when they met up with them, and they're kind of in a bad spot too. They were looking to escape the city, and they wanted an airship particularly.
So can anyone, and I'll open this up to everyone. First off, Kraz, is there anything that you think we should know about? Any gaps you want to fill in?
Yeah. So I and forgive my memory, but so we were waiting in that that room in the inn, the private room, and I can't remember if this was the last session or the session before, but a halfling came in and warned us that that people were coming. I took on the persona of Lord Ermenard, and Regic became Hadim. And
Oh yeah.
that like black raven-haired woman came in with a Warforged and 2 Kalashtar to interrogate us and try to grill us. They wanted us to admit that one of us was Regic, and they both the twins sat down and like connected through thoughts, telepathically to each of us, and asked us similar questions. Both were asking the other. One was asking me if Hadim was Regic, and they were asking Hadim if I was Regic. And Regic made a telepathic bond with me, and we kind of communicated back and forth eventually, but not yet. That they kind of backed us into a bit of a corner, and me trying to embody Lord Ermenard, they said that they knew that I was lying, and the only way to get out like they would do me no harm if I admitted that the guy next to me was Regic. So I did admit he was Regic. Then a guard burst into the room because the city had erupted in chaos, and they cuffed us and let us out into the crowd. And both Regic and I spied people in the crowd that we could become, and Regic made Regic and I, through telepathy, we're going to time a moment where we could use the distraction to dive into the crowd and blend in and shape change into the people that we spotted. So we did, and the people that were trying to capture us started attacking the crowd looking for us, and we used that distraction to make our way out. We saw over an alley the captain and the first mate, or the captain and the apprentice or whatever, and we grabbed them and went to the docks. So I think those are the key pieces. The captain and the apprentice were in the room with us, and that's the halfling led them out through a secret door before the baddies came in.
How did you know all this? Did you take these notes or watch the stream or something? Or?
Listening to you guys.
That's a lot.
Listening to you guys talk triggered memories, and
there you go.
Wow, dude, that's impressive.
And we when we took over the ship, like we went up, we convinced the captain, I think it was, or the apprentice, I don't know which, we made them invisible, and they snuck onto that little harbor boat thing, like airship, and were able to get past the guards, and they flew and picked us up, and then picked up the other crew that was sitting and waiting on a roof. We went up to the top, and I shape changed as the Warforged, I think. And we showed our paperwork saying that we were servitors, working for the servitors, and we commandeered the ship. I think that's all that I can remember.
It's ours now, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. You have 2 pilots, Rendra and Elisana. They were both the captain and apprentice of the Cloud Song,
Yeah.
right? And what they ended up telling, Regic and Kraz, although they didn't know it was Kraz at the time. And another thing is, Regic actually saw Elisana at one point.
Yeah.
And followed her for a while before
Yeah.
she actually knew. But he followed her not
On the
as-
streets.
Yeah, not as Regic.
But as Hadim, or no, the peasant guy. Yeah. We were flying
my
over
God.
lake
Hold on.
the lake, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. Hold on one second. I got
Mhm.
something beeping at me.
Tell my kids to bring me. Can you bring me cookies
Wow.
and a root beer?
How
I asked if they loved me
often does this work?
frequently.
Frequently.
Okay. All right. And did anyone Matt? Did you throw the link into Discord?
For the stream, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We have
Okay.
24 watchers
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
divided by 20.
All right. But divided by 24. Word. All right. Okay. So yeah, cutting to the very end there, Ryan mentioned something that I want to circle back to. So as you guys boarded the vessel, took control of it, immediately put Elisana piloting, you've got to decide what to do with the crew, and what was tossed about was to give them all a Featherfall token and push them overboard, and that's something that you had talked with Rindra to try and figure out the minimum crew that they would need. And so before any decisions are made, because that's about right where we ended it, that's where we're starting. You guys are quietly discussing amongst yourself as the crew stands around looking at you to try and figure out what you're going to do. All right. You stand aboard the vessel. I believe it had a name.
Can you turn down the music, Nate, a little bit?
Turn it down?
It is pretty loud.
Oh, you might, since this is a new version, you might have to go in and change your own.
Oh,
Yeah, if you go to volume controls, because it's pretty quiet on how I've got it set.
I've got it down.
But
Okay,
eh,
let's see. I'll put it down even more. Okay. We'll see. Oh, I lack the permission to... I'm clicking the wrong thing, clearly.
Oh, there we go. It's having trouble loading.
now there is a known issue right now with version 9 where scenes are taking a lot longer to load. It also doesn't help with some of the mods. I've been playing around with it, but I didn't get too much done. Kraz, you'll notice you are still as the Warforged, but I don't know. I can't remember if you stayed as the Warforged or not.
I did stay as the Warforged.
Okay.
I don't like to
So-
see it in plain sight.
So you guys, I'm going to just bring your attention to here.
Sure.
You guys are currently looking right here, discussing with Rindra the number of crew, and more importantly, what you're going to do. Now, it's important to know that the captain is not aboard. They were not planning on leaving. So the captain is not on board. All of these crew are your basic crew, although there could be some on here that are, part of operating a airship, a Lorandar airship, is there are mage rights aboard. They serve as navigators, engineers, mechanics, things like that. So they are actually they specialize their magic in an area that is beneficial to the running of the ship. Without them, you guys could run into problems. So mage rights are pretty critical, but the majority of the crew are really just deckhands, because there is still, it is still a vessel. You have sails, you have things that need to be maintained, none of which you guys know how to do. So, as you guys are doing it, and you guys can zoom out a little bit, this is a map that has 3 levels. So, you will, when you navigate, you will go to the other levels, because the ship has different levels. But for now, you guys are all on the main deck. But if you scroll around the map a lot, you're just going to see a whole lot of black. So I'll, let me know if you need me to recenter it for you.
I'm good.
Okay. So, here we are. The crew is, now that they know that basically they've been hijacked, they stand at the outer edges of the light, kind of sullenly watching you with nervous looks as you are talking to Rendra.
So they do know that we captured that we're not the real deal, right?
Correct. Yeah. The paperwork was given to them. It looks like the bosun accepted it, and it looked in order, and he was caught up in the moment. And so I love the flash of the light around the elemental ring. By the way, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But they know now, especially where you're headed. They've probably overheard a bit of your conversation, and so they are just waiting to hear. But you guys did round them up. They're on board. They're all. I'm going to say that Jordan's probably walking around them. By the way, welcome, Jordan. You missed the recap, but where we are, we're picking back up. The crew of the vessel that you guys have commandeered is gathered on deck, and you guys are currently deciding what to do with them. So you kind of are keeping an eye as you listen in on the conversation, making sure no one's leaving, everyone's accounted for, and Rendra has a fairly nervous look. She's very torn, you can tell. The thought of potentially sending crew overboard does not seem to be sitting well with her at all.
Yeah, because last game we boarded an illicit airship, didn't we?
Yep. Not illicit. It's a very fine vessel.
Illicit to us.
It is definitely illicit.
It just wasn't ours.
Yep.
Something's
Indeed.
changed.
So I'm gonna get a little closer.
Okay.
I can't move my token.
Yeah. You can't move your token?
Game pause. That's why.
Oh. We'll settle that right now.
I'm gonna speak in a low voice. I'm gonna say, if we don't throw them overboard, they're gonna immediately rat out where we go if we let them go after we get to our destination. if there's any other thing, if you think it's worth the risk, you know, we can see if they'll work with us. If not, they're going overboard.
And where exactly is our destination? And she kind of looks between the three of you, very, very much eyeing uncomfortably Kraz, who is currently shapeshifted into a Warforged.
I'll be honest,
No.
I don't remember the name of the town we're going to.
I'm trying to get to the map and it's not loading for me.
So the town that you were here, I'm going to try preloading and see if that'll help you guys. But the town that you are going towards is Zolenberg, which is on the other side of the
lake.
Well, it's actually in Zilargo. So currently you guys are in the Talenta Plains. South of you is Valinar, which is where the Elven conclaves are. Then you have the Mournlands to the west and south. And then you have Dargoon, which is the Goblin Empires. But Zolenberg is where Regic is from. He has a lot of contacts there, and the places that you were looking to investigate were Volar Dral, which is just on the other side of the Seawall Mountains from Zolenberg. So it's a somewhat short commute, especially with passes, and hopefully it would give some insight. The other possible choice that you guys were looking to go to is Kazakh Dral, way over in Drome.
Yeah,
So
super far
we're
away.
talking, very, very far away. So Zilargo is probably the closest. The other option was to head and investigate happenings in Fairhaven, which is in Ondare, but that would require you going literally into the heart of House Larandar. So not only is it dangerous from a stolen airship perspective, it would also, you'd have to go north through Karnath, which is right in the heart of the Council of 12.
Well, I think we should go to Zilargo, I think, personally.
Zolenberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
Zolenberg, I mean. I'm going to ask her, so now that we've done this, what is your plan with the ship? Are we ditching it? Are we going to keep it? Are we going to, is this going to be our new base of operations? Like what is the plan with this ship?
Nate, on an above game topic, how traceable are ships in general?
Well, they're not equipped with speaking stones in the sense of what is used by the Zilargo, the gnomes, House Civis. Those are quite expensive, require an operator from House Civis, and so that's true, Matt. You're right. So she knows it's you.
Mhm.
She still is,
She knows
a little uncomfortable the fact
She
that
knows
you're a
that I'm-
shapeshifter.
She knows that I'm Gorlag. She doesn't know that I'm Kraz.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, it would be, if you were sighted, it would be no different than having a ship on the sea, right? If you come near another vessel who recognizes the ship, then there may be some consequence to, putting in, and anything up to reporting you anonymously, and you never know, to potentially, trying to board and reclaim the stolen vessel. So it's a lot of unknowns for you and your team. it would be fantastic to be able to have your own means of travel that's not tied to the Council of 12. However, it does run risks in that if you're spotted, seen, and recognized, there could be consequences.
I just want to know the plan, if we plan on keeping the ship, because if we are, we could potentially bribe the crew with better pay than what they're getting to stay with us.
They're not going to get better pay than what we're worth as a bounty reward.
True.
That's if they know about the bounty reward.
It won't take long to find out.
Yeah.
If we want to
That's
convince
true.
them, I think there's like two angles. We could just try to pay them off, or we could tell them a version of the truth and try to convince them that
Say we
they're.
start on our flight and let them off on the ground partway there.
Yeah, well, yeah, we could do
But,
that. We don't need them. We can probably drop them off maybe like 20 miles outside of town.
Well, head the wrong direction, drop them, and then make a direction change at night.
I think that was actually kind of a good idea.
I like that idea too.
I do too.
That's not bad. I like
Sit.
that too.
I have a question for the captain, but real quick, what is the Warforged name? Just so I know who I am right now.
Oh, you would ask me that. Hold on one second. I was trying to find that because I was actually gonna make the scene for
Yeah, Hunter, look it up. That'd be awesome.
yeah, I'm not finding it in my
Our lore master will hunt it down.
Okay. Tom the Warforged. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's female, so that's
Hold
weird,
on, I can
but
tell
I'll take
you.
it. Tammy.
Let me just go to that scene real quick.
Hunter's looking it up.
Okay.
I don't need the name right now. I just wanted to know. So I
Sure.
want to address the captain. Is there a town on the way where you know there's reliable crew?
She
Even if it's a detour?
she kind of thinks about it, and she says okay, Misana was the human, the Warforged was Zel-Ott. Cutscene characters, RS. That's why I'm looking in the wrong spot. I try to be so organized with my,
Character references.
well, my art and cutscene stuff and all this, but I've got so many folders that I sometimes misplace them anyways. So Misana and Zel-Ott. Did I beat
Ott.
Hunter?
AUT, you did.
Yes!
AUT or OT?
OTT.
OTT. That wasn't one of the options.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
So
Okay.
Zel-Ott.
All right. I am Zel-Ott right now. All right. Yeah. Do you know? Yeah. So, do you know of a town where we could get reliable crew?
She kind of thinks about it and she says, I might. The most important pieces of the crew obviously are the captains, and only those of House Larandar are able to pilot. However, many different individuals, sometimes those associated with the houses, and sometimes not serve aboard ships. So it is entirely possible that I could find you a crew. However, if something were to happen in the meantime, she just kind of gives you a look and continues. Finally, she says, we could be stuck or worse.
So we need this crew. What you're telling us?
This crew to get somewhere. We can't ditch them partway.
I would feel more comfortable with a crew that knows the ship. I've not had enough time aboard to know how she handles, how temperamental the elemental is, and what state of repair and cargo. She just kind of like holds up her hands. However, and she looks more towards Regic when she says this. You asked if we could keep the ship, or what we would do. I'll be honest. The only thing that I knew is that I had to protect her. And she looks towards the aft of the ship, above the pedestal where Elisana is at the controls. So over here, Elisana is up, controlling the vessel with the controls and actually steering. I've never done anything like this in my life. I never thought that I would go against my house, and yet here we are. I have no idea how to prevent House Loranda of knowing of my involvement. I will not just be excoriated. They will want my head. If this ship gives me the freedom to protect her, then I will do my best to keep it out of their hands. But if it comes to an air battle, you will need an experienced crew, as well as those to repel borders or worse. And she looks at all of you. I've seen what you can do. You saved my ship when it was boarded in the middle of the night, when we lost my second. So I know you're formidable, but this is a lot of ship. It's much bigger than the Cloud Song. I would recommend not only a crew. Oh
boy. She spilled her coffee.
I'm on the wrong layer. I was just dragging the ship around, and I literally dragged the ship around. So she, a crew, the proper size crew to fully staff this ship and protect her, it will be quite expensive.
Yeah.
Alright, what about, if I were thinking to myself, Mr. Nate, what about our contact in the north where we just left, who doesn't hold with any houses?
Are you talking about, Atreus?
Yeah,
So that's something.
contact from the hidden wall closet.
That's something that no one really talked about. But
We have a way to contact him in theory, right?
Right, which requires the speaking stones. And am I just imagining things, or did you get a message from him before you left?
I think we sent one.
You
Yeah.
sent one.
We got one, didn't we? But I forgot what he
I
said.
thought we received one too.
I thought
Yeah,
you
we
received
definitely got one.
too.
I know we received a message from my contact.
No, we got one from him too. I just don't remember what he
Okay.
said.
Yeah. I'm not sure that you actually decrypted it yet.
Yeah, I think we kept the message.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something I might have to actually
Nice.
rewatch to find for sure.
Hmm.
So, yes, you have a contact, and yes, they could potentially help you. But first, you would need to get somewhere where you could actually make contact.
Right.
with
So we're
them.
going to my town, Zolenberg. I'm sure the stone's there.
Oh yeah.
So I
That's-
mean, all signs point to we have to fake our way to Zolenberg with this ship and crew.
Yeah.
Logistics is not that.
That's
So-
right. So I think we should convince the crew that we were threatened for our lives, and that we had to, we had to escape on the ship, and that we could pay them off, and convince them we're going to get a new captain or something on the other end.
Yeah. I mean, that might work, but I mean, at this point, I think they already know we're not very trustworthy people. I think we just need to be honest with them at this point and just be like, listen, if we're all gonna get through this, we can drop you off in the nearest town. But in the meantime, if you want to join the crew with us, we will reward you, I guess, or something along those lines.
Pay you.
Remind me, because I joined a little late, the ruse where we've gone on board as Matt's alter ego character. Was that basically discovered or proved out?
Yeah, they figured us out.
They caught us in the
We
act.
figured it out. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
the way it all went down was just too shady. So I guess
Well,
I'll talk to the
I
crew
don't-
if you want, or
It wasn't explicitly like I said you were Regic.
So does
That's
the
all I
whole
got.
crew know, or just a handful of people we interacted with that we can buy off?
They don't necessarily know that I wasn't Lord Ermiger. Ermiger.
Ermider.
Erminard. Thanks, Hunter. I mean, maybe they do, but it didn't come up in our conversation.
Well, I think we should address the crew anyway.
Yeah.
Technically, Ryan, you were still
Hadim.
That was the girl.
posing as Masana.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We were both posing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So,
We could keep up that ruse.
Well, possibly. I mean, my alter self spell, I don't have the mage weave like you do, so that's gonna wear off.
you're a changeling.
Yeah, but my clothes, I have to cast a spell to make my clothes look like hers.
Just say I
Disguise
need to go
thing.
slip into something a little more comfortable.
That's hilarious.
a man's breeches.
So is that our plan now? We're just gonna offer
And
these
then
guys.
tell everybody it's a disguise.
We're just gonna offer these guys a chance to stay with us or leave. I guess that's all we can do.
I don't think we give them an option to leave.
Well, we
No,
could
we-
offer them the express
We've got
route.
orders. We're
we can be forceful about it. Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I say we
Go
tell
ahead.
them what they're going to be doing, and we will compensate them accordingly.
that's what I want. That's what I think too. We should do.
Okay. Play
Either that, or
low.
they have to jump off, right?
Right.
Yeah.
and reveal as few identities as possible. So I
Well-
would say you guys should stay in character.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, exactly. That's definitely something. They don't know what's going on. They just know that.
We left.
Yeah, it's
That it isn't good.
really odd.
I mean, I'm sure some of them saw Misana and the other Warforged walking up to the boat on our way out there.
Well, yeah, you gave them the credentials to do that.
Well, no, I meant like when they stormed the berth or whatever.
Oh, they were pretty busy, but let's put that to the test, Shall we? I'm gonna go with you. We're gonna do public. High or low, Ryan?
Let's go high, baby.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that there is about a 30% chance that at least one member saw. And you said high, right?
Yeah.
Success.
Had to be right on the cusp.
So yeah.
Not
No,
horrible.
they did not.
Okay. My character's locked. Let's open again. Are we paused again?
Character, it is not paused.
I can't move them.
Just make sure.
What do I got to do? I got to click on?
It's Nate's way of telling you that you're out of the game.
Magic, no. Yeah,
Why can't I move this fucking guy?
Here, I'm gonna move him over here. See if
Use
you can move
your,
that.
No, I
arrow
still
key.
can't.
Okay.
I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah, sometimes the token
Yeah.
just... Try it now. Oh, if you've already refreshed, that's fine.
I think something
There we
happens
go.
with
Now I can move him.
that initial load. There's a lot of different things that are coming over.
Yeah, and I may need to do some pruning on modules because it's all JavaScript,
Yeah.
and the more
Trying
you
to
have
read all of it.
loading, yeah, it can impact performance. There's no question.
I have a
So,
question.
real quick,
Are the servitors like something that people know about in general? Like,
no,
okay.
not unless they are intimately involved with the. Okay, there you go. You are now disguised as Masana.
I want to
But they
who
know.
we're intimately involved with.
They-
Which person have I been?
So
intimate
if
with?
they're no, so someone from House Lorandar would not know about the servitors. They would know about the Council of 12 and
Council
that
of
there's
12,
wings, right? Anyone associated with most people know about the Council of 12. Most people. Only like backwoods people that really don't even know anything about their local government, let alone world governments. Now, granted, that could be a lot of people, but I mean, think about it. Even most
Would there-
Americans know about the UK Parliament.
Would there be
things
like a mythical group people might know about, like a secret service that hides behind, like people might
There's
whisper about?
always whispers, but nothing is known.
Okay.
But there are whispers. So, people may be inclined to believe rumors if they're being given evidence. I'll just say that.
All right. You guys mind if I talk to the people?
No, go ahead.
Go for it.
All yours.
So I'm gonna walk over to face the crowd. And I'm gonna say, "Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Masana. We are. I know this is a little abnormal. What just happened? We work for the servitors.
The Council of the 12.
The Council of the 12. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, Council of the 12.
Okay.
I didn't mean to say servitors. My bad.
No worries.
And as you know, the city was in chaos, and our mission is extremely vital, and it is
So-
extremely secret.
I'm going to pause you for just a second. You right now are establishing rapport. You are putting forth a commanding, confident presence. I would like you to roll a either. So this would be either a. Well, it really would be a deception. Your persuasion
Persuasion?
and deception are the same, so it doesn't really matter which you roll. It's the same skill level.
Okay.
But you are. It's a bit of both, so I'll let you choose for this one. You so far have not told any lies other than who you are.
I will do deception.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh.
So now,
Wow, your bonus is good on that.
hell
Yeah.
it is +7.
Jeez.
Yep.
I'm a born liar.
Right. I'm going to break the crew up into 3. You've got those who are not really too interested in the goings on. You've got those who are a little bit higher skill caliber, who are more intimately involved with the workings, and then you've got a couple conspiracy theorists. So you can see right now that you have the attention of all members of the crew. So now please continue.
So the city was burning, and it was in shambles, and we are of a very important mission. Now, this mission cannot be discussed. It is under the highest of confidentiality. So basically, you will continue your work like you know, as if nothing has happened. We will give you the option, if you choose, to get off the boat and be done with it, or you can stay on board and work with us. Is that what you wanted to say? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, you can see a couple of them kind of move. Oops, I got too many selected here. A couple of them kind of like move and start, kind of talking in groups. These two in particular, but you see one kind of standing out, arms crossed. And he seems to be wearing a much more established uniform. And he's just kind of squinting at you. And the rest just kind of seem to be like whispering and talking. These two over here are kind of getting into like a furious match, while as this group of 3 over here, it doesn't take them too long. They're not in some type of a furious talk. It's more of just low, kind of a little bit urgent whispers as they kind of talk back and forth, and there's a little bit of gesturing, but nothing like the 2 over here. Meanwhile, this single man out is just continuing to kind of consider you and everyone else.
Can I pick up on what's being said by the 2 since I'm relatively close to them?
Yeah, you can try. Give me a perception roll because you're actively trying to listen in. All right. I'm going to say, yeah, you can kind of hear a bits and pieces enough to kind of make it out. These 2 are like very animated. I told you. I knew it. I told you this would happen. This, and you're just getting bits and pieces, but these 2 actually kind of seem to be excited about the prospect. This isn't worried. This is like, you got to be kidding me. I told you they were real.
This is the conspiracy you've dreamed
of. So whereas the other 2 over here, they're a lot more quiet. You can't quite make them out. But the talking kind of goes for just a little while, right? You can hear the conversation, bits and pieces. Okay. These 2 definitely seem very excited. These 3 are kind of worried. Finally, I would say no more than 10 seconds has passed since Regic, aka Masana, stopped speaking, and the guy crossing his arms nods to you and begins to speak. And as soon as he does, these three stop their conversation and turn to regard him. This guy even takes a little bit of a step back to kind of defer to this one. And this guy says, you showed us your papers. And I believe you do have the authority. But I do not believe you have the right to hold these men. And he motions to the men on his right, which would be the three over here. Some of these men have families. You have not said where we are headed, nor when they could expect to see them again. And at that, even the two on the right stop like talking and whispering loudly between themselves and turn to see what you'll say.
I'll say, we are not holding any of you against your will. I'll kind of like gesture with my head over to the side of the ship. I'll say, there's your exit right there. Y'all have Featherfall tokens. Y'all free to go anytime you want. This isn't really a choice. I'm not going to tell you where we're going. Just, you're going to have to trust us. I know that's hard right now to trust, but we're in a conundrum. That's the only two options we have. Either you jump over the board or you help us get to this city, and then if you want out, you're out. We'll let you go. If you want to stay, we'll be fine with that too. We will pay you. But that's your options.
I raise my hand or my hands, like I want to speak to the group.
Go ahead.
The guy in the middle shifts his gaze to you as you begin to speak.
You have a job to watch over this ship, to run it. We are running it now. Once we reach our destination, which is not many days away, you will see safe passage back to your families if you wish to go. But until then, you're expected to do the job you were paid for originally.
He nods, and he kind of peeks around you, but not in like a subtle way. In a very obvious way, he kind of moves and peeks around you and stares right at Rindra. And he says loudly, good of you to mention our contracts. Because our contracts state that this would qualify for hazard pay. And then he looks right back at you, Matt, or Kraz Zealot, and he just raises an eyebrow.
Is that something?
The mention of hazard pay, all of the crew perks up. Especially the two over here, who now seem they give each other like a look, like, oh my god, and they're just hanging on your word. So clearly, this is a big deal. What are you going to do? Are you going to reply? Are you going to look towards Rindra, who he was obviously looking towards? What are you going to do?
What I say is, matters of the running of a ship are for House Leander to dictate. But this is dire straits, so... And I say so, and then I linger and look back at the captain.
Yeah,
she kind of looks as everyone's looking to her. She says, this would qualify for hazard pay to the crew. And she kind of starts to continue, and before she can, the guy in the middle shouts out loudly, "We are also understaffed for a vessel this size, which means the crew will have to do double duty and take on extra hours. Isn't that right, Captain?" And as you guys kind of all ping pong look back to her, she grimaces and nods in agreement. At that, the two guys on the side can't even help themselves, and they just shout out "Wahoo!" and like hugging each other, patting each other on the back. The three on the left, they quickly get together and kind of talking and nodding, and they all just kind of like they're in agreement, and they say they all look to the middle inn, and he says, "Your terms are accepted."
I'm gonna walk forward and I'm gonna go, "You, my friend, are a shrewd man," and put my hand out.
He shakes it.
All right.
He introduces himself. The name's Corwil Get. I'm bosun of this ship.
Well, you already know my name, Asana. You guys can introduce yourselves.
Did you say bosun of the ship? What is that?
Bosun.
What's that?
Bosun is like the it's the oops. It's a ship. The ship's officer is in charge of crew and equipment. So he's not a captain, but he is the one that's in charge of the crew. He disciplines the crew. It used to be called
He's
like
a frontline manager.
Yep.
Quartermaster.
Yeah, he's not the quartermaster. He would be in charge of the crew. The quartermaster would report directly to the captain, and the engineer would report directly to the captain.
He's department manager,
Yep, basically.
not
He's
store
like
manager.
Yeah,
Assistant to the regional manager.
exactly.
All right. Well, I'll say. All right. Well, since we've got this settled, let's go and go about our business. I'm gonna walk over.
And starts barking orders. And he's yelling out, "Come on, you scurvy dogs! We're short a crew. I expect you to do the work of 5. Go, move!" Like they scurry. These two are just giving you guys grins and grins and grins as they, all move off into different places on the ship. Quite a few of them go below decks.
I want to go over to the captain and say, "What did we just agree to?"
That's what I was gonna say. How much? What exactly are we gonna be on the hook for here?
So she as she kind of moves about, she turns to you and she says, "Hazard pay is roughly 1 month's wages, and with the addition of double duty and extra shifts," she kind of grimaces and she says, "It's multiplicative."
Multiplicative?
Yes, thank you. She says, "Yeah, that."
And
But what's
did
the
Metrodon
amount?
do multiplicative math?
What's the amount
You-
that we're talking about?
You just paid. You just agreed to pay a full crew's worth, nearly 2 months' wages.
Yeah, but
Yes,
how much
yes,
though?
What's the amount are we talking about?
She kind of starts doing some sums in her head, as she's kind of thinking about the different positions, different pay that she knows of. I mean, she's not handled it all. She just 3,000 or 4,000 gold marks.
Oh my god.
Jump overboard.
Wow.
On the bright side, you may very well have gotten yourselves a loyal crew.
Yeah.
And she nods especially to this guy up over here, who was one of the guys that really celebrated. I think that I don't think that this crew will tell. And we can even, if you decide to let them go, if you can pay them, I think they'll be quiet. We can threaten them with blackballing them from serving on any Lorandar ship. And let me tell you that once these boys get a taste of the air, they'll never go back to the water.
Well, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. For now, I need rest. It's been a long night.
I look in the bag of holding. we have
I think that's all of our money, probably, if we sell everything.
Yeah.
And well, you guys did hold on to some of your idols, correct?
Yeah, we kept an idol. That's like our biggest sell.
Yeah.
I think we have some gems or something we might be able to get rid of too in town.
I think I'm gonna go, rob a bank or something when we get in.
Well,
Sorry.
maybe
Good
listen.
I
Listen,
need
this is what we're gonna do.
You're sure, right?
When we get into town, we're gonna find the bounty board. One of us is gonna pretend to be a bounty. We're gonna turn them in, and then I will go in as the leader and say I'm commandeering this guy after they pay the bounty off and take you away so we can make some money.
I think I would make one of the bigger bounties. I think. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go with one of. I don't want to have one of us because that'll do too much. Like one of the lesser bounties of like people that aren't going to draw massive attention.
I guess that's not me.
We'll have to do some scheming.
Or we could get to the next city and sell the airship. And just pay everybody off at the end. And then go our separate ways.
Just give them the airship.
I think we need this airship. It's going to be our way to get around.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big thing. I don't think we could give it up.
Let's hope hazard pay doesn't continue the whole time.
Yeah, how are we going to continue to keep this up? That's the question. We need a backer, a financial backer.
Well, we can.
And that would be something to potentially talk to, the.
That fellow there.
Yeah, Atreus, who is part of the Knights Who Say Neat. No, the Order, the Marshals of Korth.
Yeah, well, definitely. If we can get a financial investor, that would help. And also, like, even the bounty idea is not a bad idea if we have this friggin' airship. Like, if we can figure out, like,
I think it's intriguing.
Well, I mean, like, if there's a bounty for somebody who we know lives in, I don't know, somewhere in the forest, we can just jump off this damn thing and hijack the people from above and bring them in.
We have 1,000 in
Oh,
gold.
you mean
we have an idol that we could have an idol
bounty
that we could probably sell for 1,500, and we could sell the bag of holding.
No, I think we need that. Do we have any? We can sell our potions probably.
Mm-hmm. That's not going to get us up there, but a bag of holding will fetch a pretty price.
Got 248 pieces.
I have like 300 or something, or I think.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Maybe we can bring IOU.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I need a long rest because I don't have any spells left.
Yes.
I think we all do.
You all definitely do. I will say, Jordan, did you level up your character on D&D Beyond?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I need a drink. So let's take. Can you guys maybe give him a hand? If you go to D&D Beyond, you can go to My Characters. Now, rogues are fairly straightforward. The only thing you'll really need to do is roll your hit dice. So if you go to the chat and just do a roll 1d8, I believe that's what rogues get. Jordan Smith.
Yeah. Pitts, do you know how to level
So-
up? Real quick, do you know how to level up
Yeah.
your character?
In D&D Beyond, no.
Yeah.
Not since
Okay.
we stopped using Roll20.
All right, share your screen and I can walk you through it.
Okay, perfect. I will be right back, fellas. And everyone else, grab a drink, do whatever. Be right back.
Don't tell us what to do. Do you know how to share your screen? And there we go.
How's that look?
Wait.
Edit, I'm guessing?
It says stream paused because you've minimized your application.
Which application?
I don't know. I'm just saying that's what it says on my screen.
Let me try again.
There we
Share
go.
your screen.
Huh. I'm gonna stop
Stop
watching.
streaming.
and-
Change windows. I want this window. Go live. Anything?
Waiting. Well, are you guys able to see his screen?
I know I see him. And this is loading when I try to click on this thing.
Yeah.
Is that better?
No, I can't see your screen.
You?
Let me share
Check,
my
check, check,
screen.
check.
Can you? I can hear. Can you hear me, Pitts? I guess he cannot hear me.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear us? You can't hear us. He has to get rid of that live stream.
Yeah. I'm gonna type in game. Can you hear us yet? Nothing? No. I'm gonna try messaging him in Discord, I guess.
And now we can't hear him.
um,
He's restarting. He's like, oh, smart move probably.
what I'll do is I'll go to D&D Beyond and walk him through with my character at the same time.
I like that auto leveler. I don't know why we don't just use that. That was really convenient.
What that was for Roll20. That's not in that's not in D&D Beyond. It's a whole different platform.
That was really convenient and easy.
Oh, the level up thing that they had, yeah.
Levelmancer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's exactly what D&D Beyond does. You just have to. I mean, in Levelmancer, you still have to select your skills or your spells.
yeah, but it like popped up for you. So it's like you hit the button and it was okay. Now pick your spells. Now pick your this. Now pick your that.
It did kind of walk you through a little bit, but it was. I think there was some bugs to it and stuff though too.
Yeah. The level or D&D Beyond, you just go hit the next page, do the things, hit the next page, just like the Level Mancer.
Yeah, I like D&D Beyond quite a bit.
Yeah.
The way they do the character sheets. It's pretty intuitive for me, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm trying to go through it, there are a few like weird things where you got to back out to like change something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we good?
No, we lost Pitts. He couldn't hear us, so we haven't leveled him up yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And then I think he
okay.
restarted or something. Hey.
Yeah,
back.
it definitely doesn't like it when I try to stream on this laptop. I think it
Gotcha.
overloads the GPU.
All right, let me share my screen, and I'll walk you through the steps with a different character.
I can
And-
honestly level you pretty quickly, Andrew, because there's not much that no decisions you really need to make.
Yeah, I think I chose Swashbuckler. I'm a rogue. I was going to go fighter next.
Oh, you were gonna pick up multiclass. Well, that
it was,
becomes-
yeah.
Oh,
Don't you
wow.
Don't you want level 5 first before you do multi-class? 'Cause you get a big buff at level 5, don't you?
Yeah, you will miss Uncanny Dodge.
So you want to do level 6 as a fighter.
I would
Unless we must
recommend
do one level of fighter and then switch back.
Yeah, I was going to go 4 levels of fighter, but maybe I was thinking 5. What's the...
Is 5 a breaking point for Rogue? Wait, what's Uncanny Dodge? Is that the one where you put your reaction, or your reaction to like minus the damage or something like that?
Yeah, and it's any source of damage. So
Yeah.
Uncanny Dodge, basically starting at 5th level, when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you.
And
When you say
times do
reaction, what do you specifically mean?
So everyone gets a reaction.
Reaction.
An attack of opportunity is a reaction, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
per
Yeah.
round, you get
Sorry,
one.
I thought it was like an opposed roll or something.
No.
Can you
needs
use that?
on your turn? Basically, a reaction doesn't take place.
So
on your
as a
turn.
reaction, I can now have damage from attacks from attackers I see
Yep.
multiple times. Well,
No.
it's once per round because I only have one reaction.
Yeah,
Once
per round.
Once per
Yeah.
round.
That's still really good though.
And at level
Mhm.
6, you get 2 more skill proficiencies. Level 7, you get evasion. I mean, it is not as easy to multi-class anymore. You do give up a lot.
Right.
And, if you were to go like one level of fighter, obviously you would,
You get 2 things, right?
yeah,
A
You
fighting
get a,
style
you get
or
a
second
fighting
wind?
style.
Second
You get a fighting style and second wind.
mhm.
Yeah, but I think I already have a fighting style as a rogue. Am I mistaken?
That
It all made sense 2 months ago.
You
How
can
do
you
you
get to pick up an
multi-class?
additional one.
Oh, add another class. There it is. So if you took a level of fighter, you would choose a fighting style. Okay. So your fighting style options are archery, blind fighting, defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, interception, protection, superior technique, thrown weapon fighting, 2-weapon fighting, and unarmed fighting.
I think I
And
wanted
you
to get
also
2-weapon
get
fighting.
2-weapon.
Remind me what
So
remind me
with
what 2-weapon
yeah.
fighting would give.
when you engage in 2-weapon fighting, you add your ability modifier to the damage of your second attack.
Right.
So no longer is it just weapon damage; it's weapon damage plus your strength or dex, depending on if it's a finesse weapon.
Right. Yeah, that was fairly significant for me.
And you get second wind, which would allow you to
Heal mid battle, right? Or
once per short or long rest, you can regain 1d10 plus your fighter level. So it'd be 1d10 plus 1 hit points as a bonus action. So it's basically
plus your fighter level, not plus your character
Not-
level.
exactly.
Okay.
So it's not, it doesn't count your rogue levels.
Yeah.
And then at level 2, you get Action Surge, which gives you another attack round. But that's the thing, is it would take you up until level 9 to get your extra attack. Whereas for a rogue, you get... I mean, you actually don't get an extra attack.
You do not.
No,
Don't,
but
that's
you get more stuff.
Yeah, you
more
do
stuff,
kind of
but-
get with your bonus actions.
you get skills as a fighter.
Mm-hmm. You don't. Let me see.
When you multi-class, I don't think you get added
You
skills.
don't. Yeah, you don't get added
Get
skills.
the added skills. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you just get the features.
I believe you can pick up the 2-weapon fighting as a feat if you continue the rogue route.
You could
eventually.
absolutely.
So
I'll just stay
there are
rogue.
options.
Yeah, I was gonna say evasion sounds really freaking good.
Yeah.
Way better than
I
second
was kind
wind.
of thinking about the hit dice and the extra action in the long run, but I don't think I'll miss it that much either.
Okay. So with a 5th level rogue, you would get uncanny dodge, and just roll me a hit die. So roll a d8.
Derp, derp, derp.
Right in Foundry.
Yes. Which one's the 8s? There's
Third
the 8.
one. Third one at the bottom.
Didn't roll it. Roll it.
There you go.
Oh, that's 2d8.
Oh, you rolled 2.
Well, just
so
mouse over it and take the
The
first
6. The 6 is the first one.
There you
So
go.
We'll go with the 6. So that's gonna go from 29 roll or 23 roll to 29, which with your con modifier brings your hit point total up to 39. All right, and then from there, that's pretty much it. That's all there
So
is
I
to
change
level.
my base hit. How do
I'll re-import your character now. Now that we
Okay,
got that
yep.
done,
I see
I'll
that it just
re-import.
happened.
And your proficiency is +3. So, which I think that happened on level 4 anyways.
Think so?
I think so.
No, it's level 5.
What is everyone else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is
So
level
Derek
5?
was right. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, I was right.
I hate admitting it, but you were.
Did go up by 1.
Mhm.
All right.
Why
So
am I,
very,
oh,
very
there it goes.
shortly, you will now see you are level 5,
I do see that.
and your
What, it looks like
proficiency went
all
up.
my proficiency skills went up 1 point?
Exactly.
Okay.
So anything that you use for proficiency would go up by 1 point.
If I look in
Now-
features, now it shows the uncanny dodging. Okay, yep.
Okay, I can move you guys, so give me a second. I'm going to move you guys below deck.
So it's not good against spells, uncanny dodge. That's evasion later, I think.
Yeah, that's evasion.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
level 7.
All right, so I'm assuming that you guys are going to go to... So this is the crew bunk as well as like the... actually, this is more. So if you guys want, you can... I'm going to open some doors here. And you guys can explore the ship. There's actually... The crew bunks are outside. This is more of the main crew's quarters. All right.
Okay.
So you guys would be able to, explore the ship. But one thing that the captain, Rindra, she's actually going to come down here with you guys for just a moment. Maybe. There we go. Yay. Okay. So she's going to talk to you for just a moment, and she's going to let you know you have a couple of options. So as you guys are getting settled, as you guys are led down to the main crew area, which obviously has the big, which I think is that just one more than you need, but everyone gets a chair, right?
Yay.
If you want to move yourself, hold shift, and you can put yourself right on top of the chair. So if you move your token, hold down the shift key, you can set it at an odd, not snap to the grid.
I want to ask her, how safe does she think our current route is?
So she'll say, well, obviously we need to head south, where we'll head over the bay. At that point, we'll head west towards Zilargo. But we should be well outside of the reach of the Mournlands. But we'll also make sure to stay outside of main cities where we'll see other traffic. So we can head straight down south through the Blade Desert. We should not see anyone. And if
Do we know any of the current conditions in Zilargo? Was there a same hold on ships or anything like that?
You don't, because no one from Gatherhold really would have known what was happening. So you're not sure.
Outside their own area.
Yeah. I would recommend that we sail southwest through Kraken Bay and skirt Dargun. The Torlak Bay has a lot of trade, but as long as we stick south, we should be able to miss most of that, and we can head up north through Korenberg, skirting on the outside, and reach Zilargo or Zolenberg.
Is this a map right here?
Yeah. Yeah. But if you guys want, I know it's a pain to switch back and forth. If you want to see, you can activate the map of Corvair and kind of see where she's plotting your path.
You're now the captain of this vessel. What's our strategy if another airship comes in contact with us?
She kind of leans forward, steepling her fingers, and she just says, "In all the years I've flown, I've never seen or heard of a rogue vessel. But I do know that the port authorities in Gatherhold will flag this vessel as stolen. The crew as mutiny. They will want to talk to all of them. The plausible deniability will only take them so far, and their lives may be destroyed because of this."
Do we avoid being seen altogether, or can we somehow mask the ship from being detected?
Your biggest identifier will be the headmast. Is that what it's called? What's the
Like a flag or something?
Yeah, the mermaid on the front of the ship.
Close. Mast head.
Yeah.
And this ship has a rather distinctive one.
Oh no.
Lightning's Fury is her name. So she has rather distinctive markings. I don't know what we could do to disguise those, but a ship would have to be very close. And this ship is powerful.
I imagine
outrun most smaller vessels.
Okay. I imagine maybe the elemental kind of signifies the ship too. Yeah.
The Cloud Song used a fire elemental. This one is air.
Okay.
Air tends to be used primarily in the larger vessels. This one by itself would not stand out. Our biggest challenge will be heading into a busy port.
Okay.
But I wanted to talk to you about the crew and your options. My apologies for not thinking of that ahead of time. The bosun knows what he's about, and from the looks of it, he takes good care of the crew. that can be a boon to all of you. This ship has cargo. I believe full cargo. Now, while trade is tracked and monitored for obvious reasons, I'm sure all of you know that there are ways to sell cargo without involving officials, if you grease the right wheels. I've never done that before. I want to be clear. So that is not something that I can help you with.
Well,
But I
I
I
think
was
there
floating
are
around.
those in this, I think there
Go
are
ahead.
those in this crew that have the ability to do that sort of thing. Knowing
Yeah,
my
I was
head,
thinking
that's me.
we could try to forge documents to change the name of the ship, possibly repaint it, possibly do whatever we have to do to make it look different.
this ship will also have funds available to it, both in the form of hard currency to pay for crew fees, things like that, as well as notes able to draw upon official accounts.
You're speaking about these resources that are on board now, or you said this ship was going to be flagged, I thought.
It will, and using writs in exchange for to remove them from accounts from banks would be very dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is there. I don't know what the coffers hold as far as cash on hand, but typically a vessel of this size would have a sizable amount to pay for the crew, wages and such. Now we have a very small crew. It may have enough to cover at least as a part of what the hazard pay will give to them. But once they find out, and they will find out, that they served aboard a captured vessel willingly, all of their pay will be forfeit. They will be facing serious charges. They may never fly again, or worse.
Yeah.
Well, I think our goal
Realistically
is
speaking, can we dump the ship at the next port
Why
and
would we
give
wanna do
them
that?
a likely free pass?
If we're willing to give up the ship, yeah, I guess that's the big thing.
I would definitely ask that for our fee
So
To
put
pilot
good
this
on their
vessel-
character sheet.
to pilot this vessel for you and take you where you wish to go, that before you set it loose or sell it, that you ensure protection for at least Elisana, if not myself as well.
Of
I would
course.
prefer not to get rid of the ship. If we can hold on to it, we need to hold on to it. And I think that if we get this foreman guy, I forgot his name,
Corwell.
Corwell, if we can have him, convince him, to stay with us, he'll keep the crew in line.
It sounds like we have enough resources at our call to try to make this work. I think it's in the best interest of everybody, including the men. And
Not to interrupt, but
Well, they're better off if they get to live in a free world, so yeah.
anyway, we're not illegal, okay? We're being set up. So what's going on right now isn't necessarily, when we figure out when you figure this problem out, we'll be able to exonerate everybody at this table and everybody on the ship.
The grand pardon.
We just got to keep that in mind. I mean, what we're doing now seems like it's illegal, but when we figure this all out, I'm pretty sure that any of our crimes will be forgiven.
Just
because we believe in the rightness of ourselves.
well, just saying that, just like a look of pure just peace and desire and longing comes over Rindra. And she just takes a deep breath and nods. We will do whatever we can to assist you. And if it were to clear our names as well as yours, then we will do whatever we can to help you.
Good. Then we appreciate that. We will, and trust us when we tell you that we did nothing wrong and we are being set up, and we will get to the bottom of this, and we will clear everybody's name. You have our word.
And I think the crew would be of a similar mind, knowing that if we drop them off at a port now, their lives or livelihoods could be forfeit. But if they stick with us, we can clear their names.
I would also suggest to all of us here in this room over the next couple days to really get to know the crew. I think that, if they can see us as people and learn to trust us, they might be more willing to back us up when we ask them, when the truth does come out.
Sure.
A little bit of Stockholm syndrome.
However, I will say that people need to look up to someone in power and with authority. So I don't think everyone should get buddy-buddy with the crew.
Well, we don't have to get buddy-buddy, but at least help out. Hey, you need help doing this, you need help doing that. And it's not going to hurt for us to get trained a little bit in the daily runnings of this ship.
I mean, that's true. It would be good to know what to do in case things, don't go according to plan. How to run the ship, that is.
Mm.
And, Rendra still is the captain, so she is still in charge, even though, we're kind of in charge.
I've served with many bosun before, and I can definitely say from what I've seen, this Corwillis, he knows what he's about. He runs a good ship, and I think that if you were to get him on your side, telling him whatever you feel is best, I will back you, and I think that he will help secure a strong grip on the crew. I can't speak for all of them, and I doubt he can as well, but you saw how they respected him and listened and let him talk.
Nate, what happened to the Cloud Song again?
So the Cloud Song, we don't know for sure, and Render doesn't know either, because they fled. They fled just like you did from the temple.
Okay.
And they also just kind of happened to make their way to Gatherhold. Now, granted, it was either deeper into the jungles, or head to civilization. New Throne was a bad choice because it is crawling with officials of every kind. New Throne is actually where the treaty was signed, right? The treaty that established the kingdoms of Corvair. So it's a pretty big hub of civilization. There's also a lot of wealth to be had in Kabara. So they wanted to get out of there, and there's no good passage. The best way to go was into the climb of the plains.
They wouldn't have known what happened in the temple, though, right?
No, they know what basically. Gosh, what's his name? The friend of Traveling Jack. The
oh yeah, starts with a G.
The bugbear.
Gorbad.
Right?
Yeah, the bugbear. What he told you guys, which was basically at some point, conflict broke out between House Thrashk and House Deneath mercenary companies, and all hell broke loose.
Okay.
People were killed. it was a mess, but also came down that the entire crew was to be detained, and so she doesn't even know what happened with most of her crew. It was just her and Elisana that escaped. Now she hasn't gone into details as to exactly how they escaped. So you don't know that yet, but you can see that Elisana at least has some serious PTSD, and Rindra is obviously very, very worried about her, and they seem very, very close. So you don't know what happened to the Cloud Song, and you're not really sure that she does as well, but that was her ship, and it was definitely a loss.
All right.
All right. So with that, she is going to head back up to the main deck and kind of assist with running things there. Leaving you all to get your long rest, do what you want to do, talk, etc.
I want to look for the ship's coffers.
I am going to sleep. I need my long rest.
I need to know
Take
what
a nap.
funds we're working with.
Okay.
I want to check the cargo inventory versus our manifest and see if they match up.
All right. For that, you will need to work with the bosun. And let me see.
I spin him some yarn about we have reason to believe that it's possible the cargo could have been tampered with, and we want to make sure that it's not going to cause us any harm or trouble on our journey.
Nice.
Just remember, it's nighttime. We could probably all do this in the morning.
Well, they're up already, right? The ship's got to run?
Yeah, ship's got to run. There'll probably be a few crew catching some shut-eye.
Gotta get some rest.
Yeah, while the rest
I think
of
I
them
have all
stay.
my hit. I think all my hit dice and stuff are recovered. How can I tell?
You can. Let me see. Yep, they are. But that doesn't mean that could just be the import because.
I just
You
want
did
up level, right?
and stuff,
Yeah, you did level. So to gain the benefits of your level, you will need to see. So, Jordan, you can make your way over here. Boop, 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 boop,
Yeah, I
boop,
mean, if
boop.
you tell me I need to rest, I'll do it. But otherwise,
I'm just gonna give you, and you guys could probably all see now that Jordan's over there. If you zoom out, you can see the different levels of the boat.
Oh, are they all on the same
ship.
panel?
It's all on the same page, the same scene, if you will.
How do I?
And I couldn't get the.
Is there a good way to go up and down to find more stuff?
So if I zoom out like this, does that zoom you guys out?
It's but it's just black.
Way too out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
hold on. I don't.
It
That's
was
what-
zoomed out for a minute, and then it went like full zoom.
Probably can't see the
Blonde.
lighting layers for the places I can't observe in line of sight. I just see the one cargo hold that I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna click my long rest button.
Yeah, go ahead. So this is a new change to the lighting in version 9. You used to be able to set shared token vision.
Do we need to have the ship invisible to us right at the moment? Are there parts of it that we can't see or shouldn't see?
Yes.
Okay.
And one room at a time is good enough.
Matt, I'm gonna bring you over there. Where are you? Is that a lot? So there is the cargo bay.
Okay.
And there is these doors are here, and you can kind of see that there's the light spills in, and actually there is a light in that.
To move the toolbar thing that opens and closes for chat, or is it locked in the middle of the screen on purpose?
What toolbar? That opens
Yeah,
and
what
closes?
toolbar?
It has chat and it has the little fist for stuff, and
It's over to the
inventory
right for me.
mine's like right in the middle of the dang screen.
That
So
should be
you
weird.
can't like drag and drop it, right? Just open and close it.
There's an arrow to the right of it that lets you dock it, and it completely collapses.
Yeah, but when it collapses, I get all the little mini buttons, and it's still like right on top of my character in the middle of the screen.
Holy cow, dude! What's your
That's cool.
resolution?
What's your
Shitty.
browser?
Chrome. It's probably a function of the resolution because, like I said, I have a legacy monitor I'm on.
Mm.
Yeah. I think the minimum resolution you need is something like 12.
It's okay. I can live with it. It's hardly a big
Yeah.
deal.
Okay. All
I
right,
never
but
get to
yeah,
see the cargo hold of every other ship, so
yeah. So
Kinda know.
you can kind of see. The thing is, Matt, down below here,
Mm-hmm.
there is a vault, and this thing is massive.
Oh.
Like, it is a huge door. It spans, from here to here, right? Well,
10-foot door.
Yeah, it's a 10-foot
Really
door.
big treasure in and out of it.
And so you would guess that behind there is where everything is stored, but it is definitely locked.
Can I definitely unlock it?
You can try. But one of the things that we're going to do, I need to know first off who all is taking a short rest or a long rest, and when are they doing it?
I want
I-
to take a
I
long
am.
rest after
I already did.
stuff.
Yep. I just took
Okay.
mine a couple minutes ago.
Okay,
A long
so
rest after the stuff.
you guys are exploring here first while the others are sleeping, correct?
See?
Correct. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And do we
Okay.
have? Was I able to procure a cargo manifest of all the stuff that was, transferred from the dock to the ship?
First things first. So I'm going to start some things that that you all are going to, well, that some of you are actually going to experience. And there's actually a big chandelier here, so I'm going to change the lighting here real quick.
Can you center us real quick? I might need to
Yep.
reload.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
Okay. Okay. So so Regic, you're crashing, right?
Yep.
You're taking a long rest. Ragnus, are you as well?
Yes.
Okay. So the three of you, as it doesn't take much because of the events of the day. It does not take much, Regic, for you to fall asleep.
Out like a light.
Out like a light. But as you fall asleep, suddenly you see yourself in a dark room lined with corridors, like pillars. There is, it's dark, and yet there are almost no shadows. So the light source itself seems to just be. It's dark, but the light is all around you, causing no shadows. As you wander through a pathway lined by pillars, you come to an intersection of pillars. As you look left, then right, then straight ahead, you just see pillar beyond pillar. And your line of sight is perfect. You can see far beyond what you normally see. And as you look to your left, you see a figure far down zoom by through the pillars. So fast you can't even make out details. But you can see that it just like ran between the pillars. You're compelled. And as you move down that path that you take, as you continue to walk, you hear a voice. Yes, yes, yes! Come, come, join me!
Who are you? Show yourself.
Come closer, yes.
Obviously, I'll walk forward.
And as you walk, the pillars just seem to continuously go. And up ahead, you come to another intersection. And you haven't seen the picture or the figure, but you know that it was heading towards that direction. As you reach the next crossroads, you again look to your left, to your right, and straight ahead. And suddenly, again, you see movement, but much closer this time, as a figure runs through the pillars to your right. Now you can start to make out more of the figure, and it appears to be a very hunched over figure wearing like a really old moldy like cloak that has patches and tears. It's a dirty brown, but as it turns quickly, you see a bright gleam in the eye. Immediately you set off towards that direction. Yes! Yes! I thought you would choose this way. You have many options before you. As the cackles fade off into night. As you get to roughly the place that you saw the figure, suddenly the lights dim before you. As you look off to your right and left, the lights dim, behind, dim. And they go in concentric circles around the pillars until you are left standing in 4 pillars in a circle of light. It just barely goes beyond the pillars. And as you turn, you again hear the voice cackling, first on your right, then on your left.
Show yourself.
You see a figure come in and peer around the pillar. This figure is an old man with scarred features, they've lived a hard life, gaps in their teeth, a wrinkled brow, a head that has barely wisps of hair. And as he turns around and looks at you, I knew you'd come this way. You have shown yourself to us, yes. And as he turns around the pillar, and as you look, suddenly it's a different person. It's a tall, stately individual. Almost like, Count Dracula style suit, finely tailored, with a well-oiled, manicured, sharp, pointed beard, just like a goatee, slicked back hair. And as the figure walks on the other side of the pillar, and he's just on the edge of the light, and try as you might, you can't even seem to move. And as this figure walks in between that pillar and the next, he turns to you and he says, he looks you over and he says, "Your power grows. You have attracted our notice." And with that, as he passes the other pillar, coming from the other side, as if with a transformation, another figure begins the counterclockwise movement around the pillars. And this time, it is a female in well-cut robes, looks wealthy, and she turns to you and she just says, "We can see all of the aspects of your mind. It is ours to see, feel, experience." And as she passes that pillar, another individual emerges. But this one stops and faces you, and you can see it is the form you take most often, Regic. As you look at yourself standing calmly before you, it cocks its head side to side and looks at you.
I'll say, who are you? Who are all of you?
We are many. One mind, fractured in 1,000 faces. Did you not think where your power came from?
I was born with this power.
Yes. Instantly he switches to the old man. Yes, but our power has a cost. Yours included. You must pay for power. Shifting to the man in the suit, he looks down at you through his nose. You have been granted abilities mere mortals do not know how to control. And you will have paths set before you. Which will you choose? Where will you go? What you do now is not the only path you could take. It is but one of many. We can guide you. We can help you. And we can increase your power.
What is the cost of this that you promise?
Shifting again to the woman, she looks at you with a shrewd look. You have shown yourself willing to take certain paths, shortcuts to power. I would say you are prepared for the costs ahead. I think you seek power. And if you continue, you shall have it.
I seek
and more besides.
I seek the power to destroy the minds of my enemies and to make them bow before me. Can you promise me this power?
We have seen what your mind is capable of. I believe we can help you. She reaches forward, but she's about 7-8 feet away. But as soon as she reaches forward, instantly she's in front of you with her hand on your jaw, in the power and strength. And you feel your mind expanding, but you can feel it growing and then splintering and fracturing and then returning to a whole. And you feel the power, the strength, as increased magic within you is untapped and unleashed. And you have knowledge of spells that will confuse and frustrate your enemies. We shall speak again, Regic.
Shit.
Your mind is beautiful to us, and we wish to see you grow.
I'll
And
say,
with that, go ahead.
I'll say, thank you for showing me the true power hidden within me.
As she shifts back to your most natural form, when you remember what caused this, you may not thank us. And with that, he just slides into the darkness and is gone. And with that, you leave that shadowy pillar place. You just feel your body going up and up and up until the circle of light and the four pillars diminishes to a star, and then you just see a vast constellation of stars and just drift into regular dreams. Derogate. As you settle in with the unfamiliar ship and just kind of struggling with everything that has happened and gone on both over the last day, you don't quite fall asleep quite as quickly. But as you do, you as always, you have the tome close by upon your person. And as you start to drift, a warmth just starts to spread from the tome that you carry, until you just feel a peace and a sense of comfort as you kind of just drift away. And all you see as you switch between the waking world into the dream world, you see just this vast cloud-covered sunrise, as if you are floating in clouds with no body, just this incorporeal form, as the brightness begins to just cover everything you can see. And as you sit there, kind of floating, listless, you feel a presence emanating from the light source. And it slowly starts to pulse and pulse. And you're just naturally, not even sure how, but you start to drift towards it as clouds pass you by. And you feel a presence that you know, a presence that you felt before, as a kind and melodious voice calls to you. Derogate. You have been through so much. And yet, there is so much more to come. Do you regret your choices, your binding to me?
Never.
Without seeing a face, without having any visual cue, you instantly know that the being is pleased. And you just feel it. You feel it wash over you. This world does not know the importance of what you carry. You must protect it at all costs. There are many agents of many forces who seek what you hold. What you have is the key, a very important key. Trust me, and I will guide you.
Am I safe with the people who I'm with now? Is the key safe?
You sense the pause, the considering. Yes and no. Your fates are bound, are tied, for better or for worse. I cannot see all, but what I can see is they will not yet betray you. But remember, they are mortal beings. You must use what you know of them. You must learn for yourself how far you can trust them. But your path, tied with theirs, is set to bring a vast confluence of events. And there is nowhere that is safe for you, my child. I weep. Ooh, what was that? I weep for what you must go through and the paths that you must walk. But I will aid you where I can. And instantly, you just feel power augmenting your power as you feel refreshed like you haven't been in a long time. And you feel stronger. Your connection to this entity is stronger as you embrace the power that they are offering to you. I will try to guide you as I can, but there are places where my voice will be difficult to find. You are happening to travel right now over a ley line of power, of confluence. I believe it is because of your proximity to that decimated land. But for now, know that I am pleased with your path. Continue to protect and seek out the answers to the key. Be well, my child. Be well. And with that, the light source just kind of fades as a central point, and it just kind of surrounds you. Seems to be coming from everywhere at once as you just drift and relax to a point that you haven't in so long. And you just drift off to a restful sleep, feeling the power and energy that was infused with you during this time. Ragnus, being the former soldier that you are, you've learned long time ago that you have no time, and when you can get sleep, you get sleep. You have no problems falling asleep. But even still, everything that's happened in the last week, it's happened all at once, and you've missed feeling that control that you've long had over the situations as you've served the Council of 12. And you just feel things slipping out of control. These thoughts and problems and challenges that you are all facing, and you feel that burden to figure things out and protect your team, protect everything. But not only that, how do you put things right? Bring back what is normal, natural order. And as you're wrestling with these thoughts, as you drift off, you feel this sense of power building around you as you recognize an old battlefield. As you look around, you see right away that this is a battlefield during your time, long before you were a marshal, long before you joined the servitors. And you see it was a battle fought deep in the Shadow Marches. You recognize it because it was a particularly brutal battle where you lost most of your company. The frustration of not being able to protect your men was only offset a little by achieving your objective. And as you look around at the devastation of the conflict, bodies of your men, this moment of just sheer loss starts to settle upon you, and you see a little bit ahead, walking towards you, a figure clothed in robes. And this figure is moving towards you. And as they do, the cares, the worries just seem to slip away. And you begin to walk first normally, and then as your pace increases, as you just continue to feel this sense of purpose being like restored to you after this loss. You have no idea who this figure is, but you rush towards them. And as you do, you see a tall man in robes, light brown hair, brilliant green eyes. This is clearly a warrior, and yet the benevolent energies coming off of him, you know right away that this is someone both important, that this is someone important not only to you, but to all of Eberron. And as you approach, the figure looks up and notices your pain, your anguish, and says to you, "My son, What troubles you so?
How can I protect them?
He
How can I
looks
protect
down.
them all?
He looks down sadly for a moment. And he looks around at the battlefield, looks pointedly at the bodies, knowing full well that some of them were your men, some of them were your foes. Ragnes. We cannot protect them all. But your care must not be left behind for those who have fallen. Ensure that your cause is just. And put your faith and energy in protecting the living. Those around you, continue to serve them, guide them, and above all, do what you know to be right. You can offer them no greater protection than that of who you pledged your very life to. Have faith. You are set about by enemies on every side, including those that you have put your trust and faith into. Know this. These forces set against you do not come from those you serve. They are powerful, ancient, old. And your beloved institutions are caught up in something that they are not prepared to fight. You must protect them as well by doing what is right, by doing what you have sworn to do. Arise! And not even knowing, not even realizing it, that you had gone down to your knees in front of this figure, you stand. And you feel the energy, the sense of purpose, what you have dedicated yourself to. All of that is renewed in you. And you feel that sense of urgency, but purpose. And you know that no matter what, you will protect those around you and see their names cleared. And knowing that if you have faith, you will find the way to make it so.
Mm.
The figure looks at you as you stand, as your back stiffens, as your chin lifts. And he says, "That is correct. That is right. Be dedicated." And as he extends his hands towards you, you feel this divine energy pulsate through your body as you feel the power, the increased divine energy within you coming off of this individual and into you. You have stood against forces all of your life. Continue to stand, knowing that I am with you.
I will. I must.
And with that, the figure leaves, and you watch him walk off, and you look at the battlefield, knowing that these were your men, But behind you, you see the faces gathered of every person that has been under your command that you know that you have saved or protected. And their numbers continue to swell as more and more step up until even in the very center, you see your team from the servitors all looking towards you, all inclining their heads and nodding. Faces that you haven't seen in decade, but you know they are alive because of what you have done. And that peace, that comfort just settles on you as you drift off into the dreamless sleep. All right, the two of you over here. I'm just going to bring everyone over so you guys can all see the since I can't figure out shared token vision right now. So I'm going to bring everyone over here and recenter it. There we go. So as far as so Andrew, Jordan, you are able to roll. So you should have the ability to roll your thieves kit.
Indeed.
Your thieves tools. And you're probably going to need, now Matt, this is something that it looks pretty complicated. This is something you may want to assist with.
I definitely, yeah, I can do that. D20 dex? Just a dex check?
Am I perceiving that this is a challenging sort of thing?
It looks pretty challenging.
I'd use my inspiration to make it less challenging if I can do that.
Yep. But what Kraz, who you know him as, he does is you guys are looking at it together and kind of talking it through. And you know from past experience that Kraz has similar inclinations to yourself. So go ahead and roll your roll, Kraz.
My
dexterity.
Just dex, no.
Yep. Appropriate skill. So you can also roll for you. You're proficient with thieves' tools, yes?
Yes, I am, and I have
them.
them.
So go ahead and roll that.
So it's an ability check plus. Actually, can I click on? I can't.
You should be able to just. I thought you could. Hold on.
I don't appear to be able to, unless it's under features. Or inventory? Maybe I can click on... No. I mean, I'll just... I haven't slept yet, so it'd be just a +2 anyway, so my character sheet is wrong. So I'm going to do an ability check and we can add 2 to it. So 18.
Oh, yeah, you don't actually have a thieves' tool.
I should.
I agree. That's probably why.
You saved Jordan.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
I did 18.
Okay. So Jordan, you can roll with advantage, and you can also add a +2.
All right. So if I hit the inspiration button.
Yeah, it's under your inventory, so you can go to.
And there's my thieves' tools.
Yep.
You
can just click it.
And then I just hit use thieves' tools, and it should give me a roll. Why does it not have the inspiration with it?
You roll with advantage. So now on the plus, click the plus side.
Okay.
To the right. Yep, there you go. So your first roll was higher with a natural 13, but that gets you a +2, which would be 22. I'm going to say that probably about an hour, maybe about half hour working on it, and you're just not able to grab it. You feel you were close, but not quite able to get there.
Okay. I mean, I'll try again.
So, yep, you can try again. Kraz, you can assist again.
All right.
And I'm going to get you your thieves' tool.
19
Just
Did
make
it
sure you add
actually
your
make-
proficiency.
Yeah, it made the correct ads, right?
Okay, so roll again. This time not with advantage, but just with a +2. So after another, say, 15 minutes, because it is a pretty complicated lock, you are able to unlock it. And now,
The
open it.
boogeyman comes out.
And then I'm going to say, as soon as you guys, if you want, you can step in.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
examine what we see.
Okay, and as soon as you do step in, a light appears, like a light switches on. And in here you can see not only, you can go ahead and move your characters.
Okay. I just want to put something at the base of the door, so if it
To
closes,
keep it open. Yep,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I
And
cannot,
Derogate, Regic, you guys can move in if you want.
I cannot move
Well-
my character.
Okay, let me see.
It's fine. I'm just listening anyway.
Do. Try it now, Matt.
Lack permission to update token.
No, I can't do it.
You still can't move it?
No, I'll reload. Let's see.
Yeah, try it.
Frozen.
Here we go.
Okay, now I can move. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you guys find over here there is what looks like a ledger, strong box. There's some broken parts. Mostly, it looks like something to service the captured air elemental, but clearly it's also probably got a lot of ship's parts and things like that. More important, small items that line the shelves. And you guys do find there is a small lockbox that really presents no challenge to either of you. And inside there is 2,200 gold.
2,200 gold.
2,200 gold. Probably about 350 silver. And about
hold on.
200. Yep.
Okay.
You adding it to the party?
I have to reopen all my windows.
No worries.
I don't have access to the party treasure anymore either. I'll put it in my notes.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
looked.
my notes are gone. Shit.
What notes on where?
My
On your
journal.
character sheet?
I had added. I was adding notes. They didn't save for some reason. Yeah.
Is that because of the reloads?
No, I had clicked save. I don't know where they went though. All right, that's all right. I can listen back and re-add them. Yeah, can you add it to the treasure? Because I can't edit it. I don't trust my notes at the moment.
Huh.
Well, I guess you could just say it and I could rewatch and then add it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note because I can't open the party treasure either.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a journal entry. Create journal entry, and this is going to be holdings for. Okay. So 2,200 GP, 387 SLP. Okay, now amongst the other things, So there are various writs for funding. So I'm going to save this, and I'll give you guys permission so you can see all players. Owner, save change. So if you go over to the journal entry, you should now see the holdings for the ship. I think it has something to do with the NPC character sheet for the party treasure. That's I gotta figure out.
Okay.
That might need an update. So I'll fix it. I'm sure there's a way for me to change its character sheet, and then we should be able to get it back for next session. So you have everything in there to see what the coffers contained. So like Ranger mentioned, you do have the ability to potentially withdraw official House Lorandar funds from their House Kundrak accounts, right? The Dwarvish bankers.
Mm-hmm.
But that is highly, highly traceable.
Okay.
But you are not without some emergency funds.
Go big or go home.
It's like we won the lottery.
It's the oh shit option.
Yep, exactly. And I'm
going to guess you can't get one of those banks just at any port, right?
They're fairly widespread. I mean, part of the because you're actually talking about interdimensional magic that they use. So access everywhere is basically their bread and butter. So they're very, very, very available. Probably at most even mid-sized cities, you would be able to. Did
we find any sort of cargo manifest or anything that benign?
Yes. Yep. There would be stuff in there that would list out what's in the cargo and plans for it, etc. Because a lot of it was already earmarked for trade, right?
Typically, who profits by the trade of the cargo?
So it depends. House Lorandar is trying to replace House what is it? Shoot, Orlean.
I don't remember it. The ones that run the trains.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Orient has long had trading routes, especially with the lightning rails, because the airships were not really in any capacity to be useful during the war, right? During the last war. They were mostly used for transporting troops, and that's pretty much it. But since then, remember, we're 30 years after the close of the war. Lorandar has been pushing to increase its fleet and has taken on trade contracts. So it could be shipping materials for House Cannith. It could be, trade goods for a merchant or a country, a city, a state. So it could be any number of things. Lorandar controls the vessel, and so they take some profits. But you guys will have to dig in to find out who exactly you'll be screwing by trying.
This isn't just cash on delivery, right? I mean, we're supposed to take the money and then to put it in an account.
Most likely, there would be contracts involved and things like that.
Making a transaction as an agent of several people.
Yep, you're taking it from point A to point B, and that's it. You're a glorified, freight vessel. But if you were to take that earmarked for them and sell it, then you'd get whatever black market value.
Okay.
But again, you don't know who you would be taking that from. It could be House Lorandar, it could be House Cannith, it could be the 12, it could be some baron from Zilargo. Who knows? So you'll have to spend some time really combing through the books to see, and possibly needing some assistance from Rindra and or the Boatswain, because it's not exactly, just spelling it all out. There's accounts and things like that you have to cross-reference. It's a lot more than you would just kind of have time in a quick survey. You can see what the cargo is, and it's a lot of exports from the Talenta Plains. So it's mostly hides and consumables and things like that. It's not
I think
full.
exceedingly valuable.
It's definitely not. Some of it could be, rare hides and furs and things like that. Possibly some medical supplies and things like that. So you guys are able to kind of see what's happening in here, and get an idea of what you have, in addition to what petty funds were available. So at this point, you guys are kind of able to get in there. I'd like to break here. I'll pick back up and kind of talk through the level up process for both Kraz and Jordan on our next session.
Okay.
Okay. But I'd also like to talk about when we're going to meet next, because we were supposed to meet last week, which means that next week would have been our regularly scheduled game. I'd like to get us back on that schedule because it alternates nicely with my other games.
Right.
So either we play again next week, or we take a 3-week break.
I'd be up for playing again next week.
You can do either.
Me too. I'll do next week.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Well,
do it.
Richard, Derek,
I will be on
Sure.
vacation.
I was wondering
Oh, right.
that
Oh, right.
because I know
right.
your vacation was delayed.
Yeah.
So message me if you're okay with us playing a session while you're gone. You can always watch the stream to catch up.
I'm always happy to wait too.
I'm completely fine with you guys playing without me, so that's fine too.
Okay. All right. We'll tentatively plan on playing again next week. I know we had a lot of time tonight that was dedicated to either leveling up or recapping. So next week, next Tuesday, if we meet, let's all plan on being ready to go 7:15, and we'll go to our normal 10:15, 10:30 stop time,
I like
and then
And 15. Got it.
Yep. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next week.
All
Thank
right.
you, Nate.
Later.
Thanks,
Thank
Nate.
you.